And this is the role that I felt like took over my life when I was doing the Appalachian Trail, because we were always moving forward quickly. All right, today is leg day, and Filia begged for us to wake her up. But the problem is, we're going outside, and it's 37 degrees. All right, time to warm up. All right, every step, let's go. All right, you get to choose this one. What do you want?
I think we should hop one step.
Hop one step? All right, hop one step.
This is hard. It's like so slow. It's like...
Okay, you made it.
All right, now we're gonna skip one step running up, so we're just gonna go like this.
I think we should hop however many steps we can.
All right, you go first. Hey, Filia.
Yeah?
Look at this. Still good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you guys ready for the killer finale? Every step, hopping, but no bending your knees. So it's all calves.
Like this, so I can't do it.
Like this, watch. Almost, one more? Yeah. All right, time to go home. Look at all that cheese.
How do you
A little bit of leftovers. Don't like to see that. It's time for our first work block, 9 o'clock. Dove, what are you doing with your work block times today?
Reading, writing, and preparing pizza for tonight's dinner.
What are you doing for your work block time?
Later on in the day, I think I might try to take down the bunk beds with some people, which would be really nice. And then me and Filia are probably gonna do some dance stretches.
I need to contact a couple people for that house, and then edit a couple videos on there and practice some of my music.
I need to publish this vlog, and I want to try, and I've heard so much about how like hard they are to make, but I want to try making macaroons.
Oh, all right.
But it takes like, I don't know, it's like a really long process, so they won't be done today.
Man, that's a nice looking headband right there. Look at that. I am going to be working on a book launching strategy, which I haven't thought about at all, but now that I have a book on Amazon, I have these thoughts of like, how do I get it reviewed? How do I get it shared? How do I get it in the most people's hands? Cami, what are you doing today?
I'm gonna do a reading lesson with Filia, get a little laundry started, keep working on the merch, which mostly is gonna be organizing it in our basement, which means organizing our basement, which is a huge undertaking. And I'm gonna work on some music. I am finally done organizing all of the shirts for our shop.
our last work block here. One of the things that has been really challenging for me in this week, or now going on second week, of really intense schedule and what I would call intense leadership from my part, is I've noticed there's at least like 2 very separate roles that I play as a dad. One is like almost the principal or the leader of the government. There's like these systems that we have in place. So like, I'm like, hey, quiet down. Or like, everybody get in the van. Or like, hey, we're late, let's start breakfast. Or hey, get on to the next work block. And there's like a lot of yelling, and I feel like I'm the school bell, and I feel like I'm a cop sometimes. And it's like kind of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the Enneagram. If you're not, stay out of it. It's like crazy, weird, and addicting. But I'm an 8. So an 8 on the negative side is like the cult leader. And on the positive side, I am very focused on group dynamics, and I want to see the group succeed. And I know which habits like help the group move forward and which habits keep the group backwards. And this is the role that I felt like took over my life when I was doing the Appalachian Trail, because we were always moving forward quickly. And I was the one that led the family in doing that. But it was based upon what everyone said they wanted to do. So that was my way of serving the family. At least that's how I see it. But there's this other role that is just as important. And this is the role of connecting with kids as individuals, because sometimes me and other people, my kids, we don't like fit in the systems, and we don't fit in the schedule, and we don't fit in the masses. And I don't know, I noticed for myself, it's real easy to get overly fixated on either one of those roles. For me, I think I gravitate more towards the governmental systems large group role. And when a kid doesn't like fit into that, making my life easier to do that job, it's easy for me to get really down on that kid and to feel like that kid's bad, to feel that kid's rebellious or just trying to make my life harder or more miserable, when really there's a lot of reasons that I believe why a kid wouldn't fit into a system, even if they agreed to it at any given time. And I say this, like, our church experience, we never really fit into church. I mean, we tried and we did for a long time, but what became very clear the more time that went on, the more we were ourselves, the more the system like really didn't like us. And when that happened, what I wish would have happened is the church would have said, hey, like, this is hard for us, but you're important and we want to figure out a way for you to fit in. Or maybe if they were more honest, they could say, hey, it is dangerous for the group, but you can't be here. With our kids, this is totally different. Like, I don't want them to feel like a monster for not fitting into my schedule. Like, it's really important as a family unit, I think, if we have the choice of kicking a kid out just out of principle, or to reform the structure so that it can accommodate and fit them, I would so much rather do that. And I think maybe you guys know, it's something altogether different. If the kid is actually damaging to the people in the family or damaging to the family itself, you know, there's times when you probably have to like draw boundaries and have kids leave for time periods at least. I'm not really speaking to that, but I want to say sometimes for me, just as the leader, there's a time when my kid like will either consciously buck up against my authority or subconsciously. And then it's just a principle thing. I want to like bring my foot down and be like, I'm the boss around here, listen to me. And kind of just like, I don't know, bring the hammer down more. And then I want to kick them out because I'm like, you're not respecting me as the boss. But I've come to believe that's not the best way for me to lead. I think it's better for me, if I'm gonna really serve the family, to not take this role of government too seriously. I mean, it's important to have it. Like, it can be a great tool for a family. But when it starts to become the primary way that I see family, And when I think people, if they're not following the government, they don't respect me, like I am those systems, that's how I know that I've gone too far. So I don't know, one metric that I use or question is basically, am I willing to give it up for the child? Because if I'm not willing to give up the system for the child, if I'm not willing to give up my way of leadership, I think there's a good chance that I'm leading for myself, not because it's out of service to the family, not because it's in the kids' best interests or the family's best interests or their goals, but just because I want to do it. So I think it's great. I'm all for leadership. I'm all for someone being the bad guy sometimes and be like, hey, chop to it, let's go. But there can be a point, and I don't know where that is. That's part of what I'm experimenting with this week. My goal today is to talk to one child in particular who I've been having a hard time with the last 2 days because I feel them like really pushing back against this. And I really want to dig into why. Maybe they hate my guts. Maybe they're just having a hard time with their work and they don't feel like they can fit into the structure right now. Maybe they need more help. I don't know. But that's a really important question for me to ask because my relationship with the kids is more important than just this like ubiquitous definition of group, which can always change, or me just getting my way because I want to be bigger than that. I want to be the more mature one. So, okay, that's the challenge that I'm facing. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have this talk with the kid and I hope that will at least be a step in the right direction. Hopefully, I don't know if some of you guys relate to this kind of stuff, but my guess is it's out there. All right, now it's time to get to work. I am working on the launch plan for this ebook that is now up on Amazon. I guess I should say, if you're interested in these types of things that I'm talking about, this style of leadership or this type of relationship which is pretty intense, which is setting like intense goals, but also honoring children's individuality, that's what a lot of this book that I just wrote is all about. It like really focuses on inspiring kids and maintaining relationships because that's what Fight for Together is all about. So the links to all this stuff are in the description. I really hope you check it out. Thank you for those of you that have done it. It's been really exciting to hear your feedback already.
We're heading out on our run right now. Dove and Eden already went and came back. So it's just Ben and I.
Today was such an intense day for me, mentally working on this book launch. I mean, it was just like non-stop social media and writing. And even though I already did leg day, it actually feels like a break to come out here and run, mentally at least. While it's challenging physically, it's just so nice to get out here, and I left my phone behind just to be able to run in the sun and talk to my poo-cums. Look at this. What is this world coming to? The swings are closed. What is going on here, people?
It is time for dinner. I was able to talk to the one kid that I was having some difficulty with, and I'm really glad I did. I just said, hey, are you doing okay? This wasn't really working very well for me. I want you to know this thing is optional, and if you have feedback, I'd like to hear it, but you don't have to do it, and you know, is everything okay? And they apologized. The kid apologized to me and just said, yeah, I was having a rough time. And I think it was good because one of the things we're doing at dinner, because there's been such a huge shift in our life lately and we're like kind of going like nonstop, I think it's really important that we are in close communication with our kids to hear how they're doing and if they have any feedback on how things are going, and that they can have like feedback and input into the actual plan itself. So part of these dinner times, not only are we eating a meal, but we're also using it to share our highs and lows of the day, which is kind of like a conversation starter to more just like say like what's not working, like what is working, like should we change something. So we're gonna do that now at dinner. Dinner was good. We are heading up to go watch Westworld. That's been the TV series we've been watching together. We are going to be doing a Q&A about the book and about our last couple weeks. So I would love it if you guys could post the questions that you have if you've read the book, or just what you've seen from the vlogs the last couple weeks, into the comments below. And if you see, oh man, I'm out of breath, leg day and 5 miles did it for me. Hey, do you guys know where Rainier is? Any idea? Does anyone?
In that cup right there.
Has anyone seen?
He went downstairs.
Rainier around here?
Right here. Anywhere?
Wait, why are there eyes on this pillow? You guys have any questions about this week or the book, or any of these ideas about planning and organization and goal setting and accomplishing that stuff? I would love it if you would put it in the comments below and vote up the ones that you want to see so that they get higher, and we'll figure out whether we're going to do a live stream or just a regular vlog about that, because I really want to hear what you guys' concerns are or questions that are keeping you from moving forward. All right, thanks. We'll see you guys tomorrow.